Hello YouTube. As you can see, I've been busy. All that mess on the ground was not from the transmission. It was from those damn transmission lines. They weren't leaking last night, but I had it real nice and warm and toasty in here. With that heater, that heater, I love propane. I love breathing in the fumes. I'm going to die one day from it. But it got real cold last night, and the lines got cold. The fluid expanded and got all over the damn floor. But pulled the transmission out this morning. Oh, it separated the transmission. Pulled the engine out. And then I went full on death trap mode. Cut a 2x6 treated 2x6 up. It's sitting on the jack stands right now. Doesn't look like it's sitting on that one over there, but it is, trust me. It's not on the jack right now, it's just sitting down there. But treated 2x6, so that's in my hardwood, I guess. Jacked it up real nice and high. Transmission slid out real nice and easy. C6 transmission. Built for it tough. Get the shit out of it. Still works. But the engine's out. And it looks fairly new, right? Has less than 10,000 miles on it. But I guess that's what happens when you go lean. Lean is mean. Now I can give you guys a little bit better update and plan for the future. Power steering rack and pinion. Power steering pump going away. Saving about 20-25 pounds there off the nose. Going away. Here. Let me get my jack handle so I can point. All this bulkiness. All that down there. This down here. All this bulkiness here. Going all the way down there. All this across here. Going away. Going with a Flaming River manual power steering rack, standard ratio. Keep it easy to steer. 6 or 6.5 inch wide front tire on a 4.5 inch wide rim. And that setup is sold by LMR. But getting rid of all that weight, all that bulkiness, going to cut the weight in half, if not more, by going to an AJE front K-member and tubular front suspension. Tubular lower control arm front suspension. Probably going with the Eibach sway bar up front. I was on Motion Raceworks last night making up my wish list and getting rid of this ugly decrepit thing. Most of this wiring is going to disappear. That rat's nest is going to disappear next weekend. Probably going to work on just cutting those nipples off or tubes off. For the evaporator cord, just leave it in there because it's not worth removing the dash to me. I'm probably going to end up removing the whatever the hell it is. Y'all know what the hell it is. Heater core. Or just cutting those tubes off as well. I'd like to have heat in it, but I don't plan on driving this car on salty roads ever. So I'm probably just going to cut all that off. That lip that spans across, I'm going to talk to you guys, see if I can hammer that down or whatever, make it smooth, flatten out the firewall a little bit. Going to figure out all those lines going across. Most of these vacuum hoses are going away. Brake booster is going away. I am putting Motion Raceworks manual brakes, master cylinder on it, and probably, most likely, going to order the TBM race brakes. The one set up for seat clip eliminators on the Ford 8.8, because that's what this car has, is a 8.8. And do a, I think it has 28 spline in it right now, but going to put a different differential in it and do 31 spline, chrome ollie axles, 5 lug, 5x4.5 standard Ford pattern. Taking well over 200 pounds off the nose. Getting rid of this factory K-member, or whatever the hell it is you want to call it from factory. Getting rid of the power steering. That's going to save right around 60 pounds, something like that. Cast iron intake manifold, over 80 pounds. Dove C heads, over 70 pounds each. My new intake manifold weighs 19 pounds, cast aluminum, Edelbrock. My new Edelbrock heads, those weigh 36 pounds, I believe. You take all that math, add it up, well over 200 pounds off the nose. Going to do a nice degreasing and cleaning underneath the hood once I get all the extra shit I don't need out of the way. Put the wheels and tires on it, back it out, spray it down with the degreaser, and then spray it down with the all-purpose cleaner. And then, just as a little extra precaution for cleaning, as you can see, it's not bad at all, but it's bad enough to bother me. I'm going to use a deionizer, the Iron X Voodoo from Renegade. And de-iron everything just in case. It'll lift up dirt a lot better. And then I'm going to push it back in here, mask it off, get everything all real nice and warm in here overnight. That way the metal is nice and warm. There's that massive ass transcooler. You can see a little bit better now. But make sure everything's warm. Come in here the next day. Good old fashioned Rust-Oleum turbo can paint job underneath the hood. As well, I'm probably going to go with, I'd like to do gray, primer gray, so that I can see parts underneath the hood better contrast, and better light reflection. But I might just do black as well, since I already have black down, but primer gray will cover black in 2 or 3 easy coats. Not going to worry about doing super show quality. It's just going to be real nice and clean is all I'm aiming for. Because I'm probably going to put the car on a rotisserie here in a year or 2. Take everything out of it. Take it to a body shop. Tow it to a body shop. Because I ain't taking this car somewhere with a 550 plus horsepower engine. Put it on a rotisserie and have them do a 100% top to bottom restoration style paint job on it. As for the interior, I'm going to put some extra wide because I'm a big boy. Seats in it with adjustable brackets. Rear seat delete conversion. And there's a very good chance that one day this car will end up with a roll cage in it. Not sure who I'll have do it, but it'll be somebody that's very reputable and not one of those my bro can do it cheaper, because we all know that shit never works. We're probably going to go with an 8.5 cert roll cage. Not going to put a top fuel hoop or funny car hoop, whatever the hell it is, in it. All this mess from those damn lines as they got cold and the fluid expanded overnight. Yeah, A5 cert cage. Have my bars coming back down here. I'll probably have the crossbars or the X bars put back here just for funnies and fuck's sake, because I like the look of it. Still a Thundersting. I thought about getting the car wrapped, but if I'm going to spend $3,000, might as well spend $2,000 more and get a proper paint job on it. Get the front clip painted up. It's just plastic versus everything else aside from the rear bumper covers metal. And get everything painted up, get it looking brand new. Get the chrome redone and such. Have it stock appearing, aside from probably a 4-inch cowl hood for heat dissipation and scavenging. I think that's just dust. Let's walk around and see. Yeah, that's just dust. Joy. Get rid of these rear brakes. TBM brakes on the rear. F3 calipers. Getting rid of this stock fuel tank, going with a aftermarket replacement fuel tank that can put the in-tank fuel pump in. I'm going with the Holley 540 liter per hour in-tank pump. I think I've decided I'm going to return the Moog coil springs that I got for back here for factory ride height, because I wasn't intending before to go super crazy with it. But still going to do the rear control arms. I'm thinking about getting the BMR or the AJE adjustable rear control arms, double adjustables. Get rid of these factory style springs. Get rid of the shocks and do a QA1 coilover. Thing is like $860 on Jags and a few other websites. I believe I'll be getting them from LMR. But do rear coilover double adjustable conversion. That way I can launch it a little bit better. 275 rear tire. I think it's a 175 front tire for a 6.5. Might be a 165 wide, I'm not sure. Maybe one day I'll look into swapping out for LED headlights. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll also put a 1071 blower on the motor. Because I plan to do a negative 36cc or negative 44cc dish piston in it. Forged pistons, forged rods with ARP 2000 bolts, so they will be good for 1200 plus horsepower. We're right around that neighborhood, at least 1200. But going with the negative 36 or better cc dish piston, especially being a forged skirted piston. Not fully skirted, but mostly skirted. Not trying to spend $1,500 on pistons. And then a little bit of chamber softening on the heads. Probably not going to go with chamber softening up front. Might pull the heads off later. And do them along with the different intake manifold and such anyways. Because I'll have to replace the cam with a better blower cam. Yeah, should have the compression. Sorry, wasn't paying attention for a second. The camera got off over there. Should be right around 10.2, 10.3 to 1 compression without the chamber softening. After the chamber softening, should be around 9.5, 9.7 to 1. If I have to, I'll get some 75, well not 75, I have 75cc heads now. I'll get some 95 or some 105cc heads, maybe some trick flows, I'm not sure. And going with that, we'll drop the compression down with those pistons to right at around 8.9 to 1, 9.2 to 1, maybe 9.3 to 1. And that'll still allow me to run pump gas on the street with the blower. Around 6, maybe 8 psi, 850 to 950 horsepower. It might tickle 1,000. But yeah, that'll be pretty fun. It'll still just be a street vehicle. It's not going to be a race car. I say that. I'm probably going to turn it into a race car. Who the hell knows? Oh yeah, as you can see, engine's out. Goal accomplished for the weekend, and I was being lazy about it. Less than 24 hours ago, it was a running, driving car. I have probably 8.5 or 9 hours out here in the garage, and I probably worked for about 5 of them. The rest of the time, I was messing around with the music and playing on my phone, responding to messages and shit. Oh yeah. Finally out. It's underway. Drop the engine off at Performance Clinic in Beaver Creek, Ohio next week. Till then, have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. If my language offends you, sorry you're a pussy. Bye.